Madness turned into March sadness for the Kentucky Wildcats Sunday, and the Cats' loss against Kansas State frustrated a lot of fans, and many voiced their frustrations on social media.
And while others reminded the Big Blue Nation of all the struggles this team had to deal with, from the pandemic to losing a teammate, WKYT's Chad Hedrick talked with a former Wildcat who knows how this team is feeling. It's our top story at 11.
Kentucky basketball's loss Sunday to Kansas State was a stinging feel for the team and Big Blue Nation.
I didn't hit shots today. I had to be better, and I couldn't be better for this team. So that's on me. I got to live with it and just move forward.
That was Kentucky forward Jacob Toppin Sunday after the game. Just a couple months ago, he opened up about the mental health side of the pressure to deliver on the court.
I was messed up mentally. I wasn't thinking right. Even when I was on the court, I wasn't fully on the court.
Former Wildcat turned counselor Andre Riddick knows the feeling the team woke up with on Monday morning.
Because I was realizing, that was it for me. And I think that kind of carries over, not just today, but like in the next few months, just getting used to the fact that for like maybe a Sheway or Toppin, maybe potentially those guys have played their last game.
It's been 28 years since Riddick played for the Cats, and with social media, it's a different environment now where players can read the aggravation fans are saying. Lexington Baker Brandy Romines shared this tweet Sunday calling for the negative posts to stop, reminding fans the challenges these college kids have faced.
In the good times, it's easy for everybody to jump on board, but I'm sure these players are frustrated and disappointed in that they didn't continue on, so just being able to help somebody and encourage somebody who might be disappointed and might be in a position where they're disappointed in themselves.
Cheering on the team and players till the battle is won.
These players that are playing now, I know they're fighting battles that I didn't have to fight, but I do support them.
In Lexington, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
Earlier this season, our Lee K. Howard brought you an in-depth story of the challenges that student athletes face, especially when it comes to mental health. You can find that full story right now on WKYT.com.